everybody out there, MaryvilleSaints.com and Saints Vision. I'm Jim Powers, the voice of the Saints. Glad to have you with us on the Saints Vision Sports Show. Chance to catch up with all the coaches here at Maryville University, and kicking it off for us this week is the head women's coach here at Maryville, Chris Ellis. And Chris, obviously a pretty rough week, a close loss on Thursday night, and then obviously running into a steamroller in Truman this past Saturday.
Well, Truman really shot the ball well. They've got a lot of good kids. They all know how to play. They position themselves in a way where they can get their shots off, and they made them. So they deserve to win. I would say that Thursday night we deserved to win, and we just didn't get it done.
We talked a lot about how good the conference is, and this week coming up, heading to Rolla to play S&T on Thursday, and then obviously Saturday in front of a raucous crowd down at Drury. You hate to say must-win situation towards the end of January, but in the GLVC, it's kind of looking that way, just for the simple fact of seeding and different things like that, especially with the stretch run in February.
Well, if we want to be playing in March, we're going to need to win a few more. And so we got to quit fouling. We're putting teams on the free throw line, I think, 160 times in the last 4 games. That's just ridiculous, and we're not getting nearly that many shots, and they're making them. And, that has been the difference in the last 3 losses is at the foul line.
Chris, one of the highlights, I guess, of the last couple games has been the play of Shelby Miller. It seems like she's coming back and bouncing back to the form where she was last year.
Well, Shelby's a great player, and she's doing what we expect her to do. But, we're going to need productivity from everybody on the floor, not just Shelby. Our centers, Rita and Alex, have done a really nice job of getting points on the board, and now we need to figure out how we're going to get some other people in the scoring column.
Another player that's really stepped out coming off the bench, and we've had some great point production coming off the bench. Alex doing a fantastic job, but Erica Lorton is really taking that role and coming off the bench in that 4 slot, sometimes playing the 5 and doing a fantastic job.
Well, Erica is a tremendous athlete. She's big and physical, and she's fast and strong, and she can beat you in a myriad of ways. And one of the ways she gets a lot of offensive rebounds. The other thing is she can post up, and she runs the floor in transition, and she can hit the mid-range jump shot. So, there's a lot of things she can do to get herself some points, and we need to figure out, particularly I need to figure out how to get her on the floor more often.
Talk a little bit about Missouri S&T and Drury. We always have knockdown dragouts with both these teams. Last year was no different. The 2 buzzer beaters, on the road, and then up here at Maloney Arena. It's going to be a great weekend and some great basketball.
Well, they're both going to be very difficult to beat. Both teams are well coached. They both have a lot of good players. S&T has a new face, a newcomer, Wesley, who I think is as good as any player in the league already, and she's going to be a handful, even though she doesn't start the game. And, Alan, if you don't want to play her, that's okay. And Drury, has the 6'8" girl from Minnesota transfer and transfer from Eckert, and they've made all the difference in the world for them. So, we're going to have to play extremely well to beat them, but more importantly, we have to keep people off the free throw line. They can't go to the free throw line 30 times a game.
Absolutely, Chris. Well, it's going to be a pretty big weekend, and especially with as crazy as this league is. I mean, last night, a team that we both thought was probably the best in the conference, Lewis, loses to Wisconsin Parkside. A great win for them, but it just shows how upside down this conference is right now.
Well, exactly. In Southern Indiana, who just came off a huge win at Indianapolis, beat Indianapolis by 30, loses last night. So I don't even want to think about it. I don't want to talk about it. It makes no sense, and I've never seen a conference like this, our conference like this, or any conference like this in 30 years. So it is. It's pretty ridiculous at this point.
Chris, thanks so much. We'll talk to you next Monday.
Thanks, Jim.
Coach Chris Ellis, the head women's basketball coach here at Maryville University, joins us as always. If you want to follow us on Twitter to get all the great information about the athletic department here at Maryville, follow us. It's at Maryville Saints. Or you can go to our Facebook page, just like our page, Maryville Athletics. We'll give you all the great information, great pictures, and tell you a lot about what's going on here in the athletic department at Maryville University. For Coach Ellis, I'm Jim Powers, the voice of the Saints. Glad to have you with us on MaryvilleSaints.com and Saints Vision. Have a great week, and as always, go Saints.